The 1970s were a golden time for American restaurants. Going out to eat back then was always full of unforgettable memories. Whether it was the inviting atmospheres, the classic menus, or simply enjoying time with friends and family, those restaurants had something special. Today, we're taking a look back at 12 forgotten restaurants from the 1970s. We'd love to visit again. If you grew up in the 70s, you probably remember Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
There's a secret.
Where's the secret?
The secret's at your fingertips. It's Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
It was one of the go-to spots for a quick seafood meal. You'd walk in and smell the fried fish right away. They served crispy battered fish, thick-cut fries, malt vinegar on the side, and those classic hush puppies we all loved. At its peak, Arthur Treacher's had more than 800 locations across America. Families would stop in after shopping or running errands, and it always felt like a treat. Today, there's only one left, hanging on in Ohio. But for those of us who remember, just thinking about it brings back a lot of memories from a time when life felt a little slower and a good meal didn't have to be fancy to be special. If you were hungry in the 70s, Bonanza Steakhouse was the place to be. They served up hearty home-style meals without breaking the bank, and their all-you-can-eat salad bar felt like a treasure trove back then. And let's not forget, they gave free refills on soft drinks, which made us feel like we were living the good life. The 70s had a certain wild charm. Simple things could make you feel on top of the world. A few Bonanza locations are still hanging on today, but they just don't capture the magic the way the old ones did. Back then, stepping into Bonanza felt like being part of something special. A little slice of comfort that's hard to find now. H.Salt Fish and Chips, another spot from our childhood that brings back some special memories. They brought a taste of Britain right to our American tables. Crispy fried fish, golden fries, and that sharp malt vinegar we used to pour on top without holding back. Walking into an H.Salt back then felt like a real event. The smell of frying in the air, the buzz from the kitchen, and that first bite into hot, crunchy fish. For a lot of us, it was our first taste of something exotic, and we felt like little food adventurers. Even today, that flavor still sticks with us, just as fresh as it was back then.
Good food is Howard Johnson's. Now have Howard Johnson's. Good food at home.
Howard Johnson's was once a familiar name across America in the 60s and 70s. When you saw that orange roof, you knew it was time to stop. Their fried clams were always a favorite, crispy, golden, and full of flavor. But the steaks? Not so much. Still, it was a comfortable place to grab a meal. Howard Johnson's wasn't just about food, it was about those stops on long drives, when you could rest and have a bite before continuing on your way. Many of us remember the milkshakes and that feeling of familiarity, even if we didn't get a 5-star meal. While the brand faded over time, the memories of those stops are still alive for many of us. Sambo's was one of those casual spots where you could count on a good breakfast, friendly service, and a relaxed atmosphere. The place always felt busy, especially on weekend mornings, with families grabbing pancakes, eggs, and a bottomless cup of coffee. Their carrot cake was a favorite for many, rich with flavor, and just sweet enough to hit the spot. It was the kind of simple, no-nonsense place where the food spoke for itself and the atmosphere felt easy and familiar. Sure, the name eventually brought controversy, and the chain didn't last, but for a time in the 70s, Sambo's had its place. A little diner where you could enjoy a good meal and maybe finish it off with a slice of that unforgettable dessert. Back in the day, before fast food became all about speed, there was a place that made it feel a little more fun.
Burger Chef introduces the Top Chef.
Burger Chef gave you options. Their Works Bar let you pile on your own toppings just the way you liked it. And then there was the Fun Meal, a full kids meal with a toy, long before McDonald's ever thought of the Happy Meal. In the 1970s, they were actually the second largest burger chain in the country, right behind McDonald's. Their commercials were everywhere, and that bright red and orange sign meant you were in for something good. Whether it was a juicy burger or just messing around at the topping bar, it felt like a treat. Burger Chef is long gone, but they left behind a flavor of the past that still sticks with anyone who grew up with it. Sizzler was one of those places where you could treat yourself without breaking the bank. The salad bar felt endless. Lettuce, cottage cheese, pudding, garlic toast, and the best part was you could go back as many times as you wanted. And of course, there was that Malibu chicken. I tried making it at home once, but it never tasted quite the same. It wasn't just about the food, though. It was the atmosphere. Families, birthdays, casual Friday nights out. Everything felt just easy and familiar. Even after all these years, just hearing the name Sizzler brings back a dozen little memories, all warm and simple. Some locations are still around, but it's not quite the same vibe anymore. The Ground Round was one of those places that became a fun tradition for families. Remember how we could weigh ourselves as kids, and our meal would cost a penny for every pound we weighed? So, if you were 62 pounds, your meal would be just 62 cents. It was a quirky idea that added to the charm of the place. And let's not forget the peanut shells all over the floor. The Ground Round wasn't just a restaurant. It was where families could relax, have a meal, and enjoy a laid-back atmosphere with TVs showing cartoons for the kids and a great mix of food options. Ponderosa Steakhouse was a big deal back in the day. It was the first time many of us experienced a real buffet, with that endless selection of food that seemed to never run out. The steaks, though, those were the highlight. Perfectly cooked, juicy, and always satisfying. And the salad bar, that was a meal in itself. You could load up on all your favorites, and there was always something new to try. In the 70s, Ponderosa was one of the most popular spots for a meal out. The buffet and great steaks made it a memorable dining experience.
Looking for a place that offers more, the one that'll please the whole crowd.
The Red Barn had its own kind of charm. Their Barn Buster Burger gave the Big Mac a run for its money. Bigger, juicier, and somehow just better. And the fried chicken, crispy, flavorful, and always hit the spot. A lot of folks still remember that red and white box the chicken came in, shaped just like the barn-style restaurant itself. In a time when fast food was getting flashier, Red Barn kept things simple, and that's what made it great. It felt like something special, especially when you were a kid and everything tasted just a little better. Steak and Ale felt like a step up from the usual spots, a place that actually felt like a real restaurant. I used to beg my parents to take me there for my birthday. It just felt like the place to be for something special. It had that cozy, dimly lit atmosphere that made it perfect for celebrations or even a special night out. The salad bar was loaded, the steaks were juicy, and you really felt like you were dining out, not just grabbing a quick bite. Prices were a bit higher than the burger joints, sure, but it felt worth it. It had that grown-up vibe that stuck with you long after the meal. How could you not think of Shakey's Pizza? In the 70s was a real hit when it came to pizza places. The pizza was good, with a crispy crust and plenty of toppings, so each bite had real flavor. It wasn't an upscale restaurant, but the atmosphere was always laid back and friendly. A lot of people, especially young folks, loved hanging out at Shakey's. It was a place where you could just relax with friends, have a good time, and enjoy some tasty food. It was probably the most popular pizza spot back then, always busy and always delicious. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite restaurant from the 70s? And be sure to share this video with the friends you used to visit those places with. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. There's plenty more nostalgia ahead. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being here.